Shalom and good day all, this is Tehillim29 back for another anime review, but this time of something live action, to which I will be covering for the first time the live action of One Piece. So do forgive me if I happen to stray a little bit with words and whatever else I'm trying to get out here. This isn't going to be easy for me, but I'm going to give it my best try. So, moving on to episode 1, the first act, covering about the first 20 minutes. We starting the story at Logtown 22 years ago in the past, to which we are introduced to a captured pirate by the name of Gold Roger, with Garp hailing his execution for the world government. As we jump into present day, moving into the East Blue Sea, we have Luffy is introduced to us, who wants to become the king of the pirates. The idea of the king of the pirates, when I first heard it, I just want to say something before moving on. It reminds me of the Pirates of Penzance, to which there's a song called I Am the Pirate King. We then meet Alvida, who is a captain of her own ship, but she also shows us, not tells us, how she is dangerous by killing her opponents. To which, after that, we end up meeting the character of Kobe. They are then asked to clean the deck and take care of the mess afterwards until Kobe ends up having a meeting with Luffy, to which he learns a little bit about Luffy, and we get a flashback as to when Luffy first met Shanks, to eventually we learn as to how he took the devil fruit. With a leader awoken by an accident care of Luffy and Kobe, rival breaks out on the ship. We then move on to Sixus Island, to which we meet Zoro, who encounters his own trouble, connecting to a group who ends up meeting someone from the Baroque Works. Killing this rival opponent, we get flashbacks again to Luffy's past, and shows how he ended up eating the devil fruit unknowingly, which gives us an understanding to his particular power. As we jump into the second act, which covers the next 20 minutes, which will give us 40 minutes all up, as Luffy walks up to Shanks, and as he's being laughed at, Shanks is reserved in his posture as Luffy takes offense. Moving into present day, Luffy with Kobe asks him about what he dreams of doing, to which we learn he wants to be a Marine. We then move elsewhere into the East Blue, to where we meet up with Nami, who outwits some pirates for a boat that is a little bit better than what she has. We then go to Shell's Town at the 153rd branch, and this is where we begin to meet up with Zoro. Luffy and Kobe end up going to a place to have something to eat, where they plan to get a map, and Zoro, a fight breaks out in this their place that they're eating, and of course Nami does what she does to get behind the scenes in stealing a uniform. Zoro is then sentenced to serve time, to which he's actually set in a place, and Nami sneaks in to the Marine base. Luffy also works his way into the Marine base. He meets up with Zoro. Nami seeks out a map, which we learn is in the restricted section of the base. We then move into the third act, which covers the last 25 minutes. Nami takes out a couple of Captain Morgan's Marines whilst looking for a map. She teams up with Luffy to get Zoro's swords, but that actually ends up changing as they still continue to look for the map. Zoro does end up recovering his swords and ends up taking out Captain Morgan's son. And Captain Morgan finally faces up to Morgan, Luffy, Nami, and Zoro all together, hoping to subdue them all. Luffy and Zoro devise a plan to take out Captain Morgan. A little bit later on, after his defeat, they then begin to make their escape, and Kobe comes in towards the end, to which he knocks out Captain Morgan's son as they are trying to escape, but stays behind so he can become a Marine. As the story begins to end, we see that Garp receives a call on the Mollusk on the HQ-3 battleship and receives news that the map to the Grand Line has been stolen, and we're left towards the end, to which we meet the character of Buggy, who we know we're going to be meeting in the next episode at the end. I'll now jump into the area of my afterthoughts in relation to this particular episode. I must admit, being honest here, today I ended up reading some of the chapters in relation to One Piece, and I must admit I do quite like what is there, and I am definitely interested in picking up this manga. And if I'm going to pick this up, I will get it in the box set. I'll do the best I can to get out as many episode reviews as possible. Hopefully within a week, maybe less than a week. We'll see what happens depending on how busy I am, because I'd like to continue reviewing this. So from first to last episode, and then an overview. I definitely enjoyed the characters as to what they brought to the scene. I didn't mind the flashbacks. And it's actually nice to watch something a little bit fresh for a change, because when I'm watching a lot of stuff on Netflix, very rarely do I check out some live action stuff, though I have watched some live action stuff, but I'll probably try to review some of that separately from this particular review. I've also watched other people's reviews on what they thought of the episodes as well, and how has that leaned towards my rating. I'll soon get to that right now, because now I am going to move into the rating. First things first, what is my rating for the main characters? Did I enjoy what I saw of them? And for the main characters, I gave it a 7.5 out of 10. That might change a little bit later on as I go through further episodes, and if it does, fantastic. The next is the area of supporting characters, to which I gave a 7 out of 10. Next is the soundtrack. I actually quite like the soundtrack, but for the overall story rating of this, I gave a 7.5 out of 10. Again, that might change a little bit later on in further episodes. Until then, let's keep it colourful and have yourself an awesome time.